Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada. Patit Pavan Srila Prabhupada Jaya. Jaya Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada Jaya. Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada Jaya. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Gurudeva, Patit Pavan Srila Gurudeva. Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jaya Radha, Kalachanji Radha, Kalachanji Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. Jaya Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram, Patita Pavana Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram, Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram Jaya Sita Ram, Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gauranga Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Privrajakacharya Stotarastha Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaya Charanar Vindam Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatha Rupa Ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai, Shri 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 Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Kalachanji Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai. The holy appearance day of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Ramachandra Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So please put your hands together and repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Trubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai. Shri Ram Navami Mahatsava Ki Jai. Shri 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 Sita Ram Bharat Lakshman Hanuman Shatrugana Ki Jai. Shri 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 Radha Kalachanji Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So today is a very, very auspicious day for all of us. It is the appearance day of Lord Rama. Lord Rama, he appears in every Treta Yuga. There are 1,000 such Treta Yugas in a day of Brahma. Like that, Brahma lives 30 days in a month of his time, 12 months in a year, and 100 years like that. So that means that Lord Brahma's life is of 36,000 days of his time. Of his one day is very long for us. It includes half a day and half night. And in each of that day and night, the 4 yugas cycle 1,000 times each, which means there are 2,000 cycles of the 4 yugas for a full 24-hour, what we would call a 24-hour day, full day of Brahma. So the first 3,000 days, there was an issue. Brahma couldn't figure out how to create. He was a little dazed by the white lotus that came out of Lord Vishnu's navel. It was so big, actually, that he's a very big person. Brahma is a huge person. Can't imagine how big he is, just a huge person. And he had his hands around the lotus, and he was climbing down the lotus. And he couldn't quite understand what to do, how to create. That was his purpose. So like that, 3,000 of his days went by, which is for us 3,000 kalpas. It's a very long amount of time. So at the time, his spiritual master had mercy on him and told him that he should actually do tapa. It's a form of devotional service that's actually also based on chanting. Sometimes acharyas, devotees say that he told him to chant Hare Krishna, like that. So the understanding was that when he would do this austerity properly, then Krishna would come. And then Krishna would tell him how he can create. So Krishna did come. He was very successful. Krishna came. Krishna spoke to him what is called the Dasamula Tattva, the 10 essential truths that commenced all of knowledge as far as the material creation in this cycle of Lord Vishnu's breath. Lord Vishnu breathes out, and when he breathes out, this is what happens. Lord Brahma comes, and then creation happens, and after Brahma's life is over, Vishnu breathes in again, and everybody goes back into Vishnu's body. Then he breathes out again, and again the cycle goes. So like that. So this cycle of his breath. Now it has been just a tad over 50 years since Lord Brahma appeared. And so half the, what we would say, 311 trillion years of our time in terms of Brahma's life have gone by. So a little over 155 trillion plus years have gone by. And in this time, 15,000 times Lord Ram has come. So this appearance of Lord Ram is a very, very amazing story. It's actually quite a tragedy. Think about it. It's born to such a beautiful, such a great husband. I mean, great father, great mother, 2 other mothers supporting. Amazing, amazing family. In the Vangsha of Surya, they're Surya Vangshis. They're from the Sun dynasty. Very beautiful dynasty. And still, some politics happened as a result of that politics. He was banished to the forest for 14 years. In fact, after he left, his father couldn't bear the separation, left his body. It's the same story as when the great Brahmin took Lord Nityananda with him on his travels. Harai Pandit couldn't bear the separation, so he was standing there and watching them go, and as soon as he lost sight of Lord Nityananda and this great Brahmin, he left his body. He couldn't bear the separation. These personalities, Lord Ram, Lord Nityananda, Lord Lakshman, these are very amazing personalities. I mean, it's hard to imagine how great they are. It's just not possible. That's why this science is called a transcendental science, because it transcends our intelligence, it transcends our mind, certainly transcends our bodies, even transcends our false ego, transcends our consciousness as well. We're not in the right consciousness like that. So in the story of Lord Ram, there is something that in one lecture that Prabhupada gave, he just made a very, very amazing analogy. This analogy was so great that I thought we should speak about it today, because this will liberate us if we understand this point that Prabhupada is making. He gave a lecture in London on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, texts 26 and 27, wherein Sanjaya is describing the battlefield and seeing how Arjuna is seeing all the great personalities in the battlefield. And then in the next text, he starts losing his composure. And he thinks, why do I really want to fight these wonderful people? My grandfather on the other side, my battle guru on the other side, amazing personalities on his side, the other side. Why everybody should die like this? Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Prabhupada describes in that lecture, lecture is titled, Krishna Can Give You Everything. What a nice title, right? Because everybody's looking for something in their life. And the title, it's a very attractive title. I mean, when you look at the different titles of Prabhupada's lectures, this is like a very attractive title. Krishna can give you everything. And then, if you hear Prabhupada's lecture, you would think, wow, I was expecting something, to hear something. But I wasn't quite that way that I thought that Krishna can give us everything. He says it very nicely. He says what happens is that we all have desires in our heart to enjoy. Naturally, because Satchidananda, right? The soul is Satchidananda. So we want to enjoy. Oh, the line time is there. I don't want to lose my time because I've got the wonderful devotee here when he makes announcements before we start the Abhishek. We'll start on time. So what happened is that he says, so we try to do things that will make us happy so we can enjoy our senses like that. And then there are the extensions of these senses, And he gives the example of the wife and how the wife is called Stri and what the meaning of the word Stri is, that she multiplies the happiness of the husband. She has that power that she can increase the enjoyment of the husband. And then the children, and then the friends, and then the community, and all these are like expansions. And he says, but actually none of these are going to be able to help you because that's not what we should be doing. This is not our purpose. Our purpose is actually to serve Krishna because we have strayed away from Krishna and we should serve him. And then that service, when we do devotional service, then actually real enjoyment comes. He says, otherwise there's no real happiness in this world. What we feel is happiness is actually the pause between two painful points, and we think that's happiness. But actually that is not happiness. But you do have happiness when performing devotional service, you feel some happiness because of the devotional service. That is real happiness. So this Prabhupada is describing like this. Then the connection comes to Lord Ram. Now, as we know, Lord Ram is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, right? Actually, I was going to read a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Technically, when we start a class, we start with a verse. So I'm going to actually go to that verse because I want to make sure that we do things correctly. So this is from Canto 9 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 10, verse number 14. So in verse number 14, the Sanskrit says, Natvam vayang jaradiyo nuvidam abhuman kutastamadi purisham jagatam adhisham yat sattvatah suragana rajasaha prajesha manyoshcha bhuta patayoho sabhavan ganeshaha guneshaha. The translation, Srila Prabhupada's translation. O all-pervading Supreme Person, this is the ocean speaking to Lord Ram, because Lord Ram wanted to cross the ocean, and he wanted the ocean to come and visit with him so he can speak to him, but ocean wouldn't come. So Lord Ram stared at the ocean, and his eyes were so bloodshot red that the heat created a lot of inconvenience to the creatures in the ocean. And the ocean realized all of my people are going to really suffer a lot. So the ocean came, and then the ocean offers the prayers to Lord Ram, and this is what he says. O all-pervading Supreme Person, we are dull-minded and did not understand who you are. But now we understand that you are the Supreme Person, the Master of the entire universe, the unchanging and original personality of Godhead. The demigods are infatuated with the mode of goodness, the Prajapatis with the mode of passion, and the Lord of ghosts with the mode of ignorance. But you are the master of all these qualities. So then Prabhupada is a short purport. And then, now the link. So So we know that Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yeah? But when he came, why did he come? So it's described by the Acharyas, he's described as Maryada Purushottam, which means that he is the one who establishes idealism, ideal living. How can a person be an ideal husband, an ideal child, an ideal parent, ideal friend, ideal monarch, like that? And Prabhupada talks about Ramaraj. Ramaraj meaning that Lord Ram set up a kingdom that was such an amazing kingdom that nobody in the kingdom would be unhappy at all. And even when the slightest unhappiness happened, he had to deal with it, because one day he went out in the night and he heard someone say that, but Sita actually was taken away by Ravan, so she becomes unchaste, so how can Lord Ram? He's, people gossip, right? So it's gossiping. Yeah, Lord Ram, what he would do is go out in the night incognito, so they won't know it's Lord Ram. And he just go to hear what everybody's saying. What are they saying? Are my people really happy? Is the Praja really happy? Like that. So he heard this, and then he went back and he decided to banish Sita as a result. I mean, that's amazing. This wife, Sita, you can't imagine a wife like Sita. It's just such a beautiful person, so chaste, so powerful, amazing, just totally amazing personality. And now Lord Ram has to send her away. He's heartbroken. She's going to be very heartbroken very soon when she hears the message. Yeah, and she was actually expecting at the time. So it makes it even more of a tragedy that this happened. But Lord Ram, he's just his style of running the community, running his kingdom, that he had to do that. So then, many of us know the story of Lord Ram, so I'm not going to repeat it. But tragedy after tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, until finally, Lord Ram gets a hold of the culprit, Ravana, and annihilates him, which is really beneficial to Ravana, because Ravana gets moksha. Because whatever God does, it's always great. So then the link comes. See? Lord Ram showed. Beautiful wife, like the Stree, right? Beautiful father, great father, amazing children, Love and Kush. And you know the tragedy of how Love and Kush had to fight their father. I mean, can't even imagine, right? Parents and children fighting, ready to kill one another. I mean, that level of fighting, right? So, in all of this, we can see that even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when it comes to the material world, even he has to go through tragedies. What to speak of us? We will go through tragedies. This will go wrong, that will go wrong. This is a world of things going wrong. Actually, if things go right, you should feel surprised. Wow, how did that happen? There's some very great scientists who have spoken, and one of them, they call it Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law is when you're repairing a car, when the spanner falls out of your hand, it'll go to the center of the bottom of the car, the place when you cannot reach. That's where the thing will go to and rest there. So not only the things go wrong, but they go really wrong, like that. That's Murphy's Law. Such an amazing person, right? Very smart person. So what this program of Ram Leela, of Lord Ram's appearance teaches us is, when we actually become unhappy because something is going wrong, it's only because of our ignorance. There's nothing else. It's our ignorance. The ignorance is we don't know that because we're in the material world, which is like a jail, that it's going to be tough in jail. It's just going to be tough. That you should expect. And the way out of jail is by doing the 9 processes of devotion, particularly chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the association of devotees. This is why Prabhupada set up the Hare Krishna movement. This is why temples like this exist. And this is such an amazing temple because we have the oldest deity of Krishna in all of ISKCON. How wonderful is that, right? And we can see such a beautiful temple has been built, and so many nice devotees, either stay here, visit here, or whatever. And you just have the best association, the best philosophy, the best prasadam. I mean, there may be some argument about that. The best, deities, the best kirtan, the best everything, right? Only one issue, interpersonal issues. Sometimes we get into it with one another in a way that we're not very happy. But that's nothing. It's a small price to pay for such a great advantage. And those of us who engage in devotional service, we're always happy because we're always doing something worthwhile, particularly preaching, because this is a preaching movement. Prabhupada said, preaching is life. So we get life when we preach. And so in this process, one really achieves happiness. And most importantly, Prabhupada said, we should leave here and go back home, because at home, all the arrangements are there for amazing service to be done at a level that is incredible compared to what is happening here. Here, what is happening is practically insignificant. No matter how significant you think it is, I even read in one place Prabhupada talking about being a spiritual master. He says, those spiritual masters who have many, many disciples, they're actually vines on the trees in Vrindavan. And because they didn't get enough, attention and this, that, and the other, they come as spiritual masters. Now everybody gives them a lot of worship, so they also feel satisfied. So what if we have vines on the trees? We also get a lot of, happiness, this, that, and the other, like that. Of course, the spiritual masters are amazing personalities, not in any way denigrating a spiritual master, letting you know that. I'm saying that this shows you the insignificance of the material world. And we think it's very significant. And the worst part of it is, we keep saying, I know, when you actually know nothing. Absolutely know nothing. When we really find out how much we know, I think we're going to depression. A depression you won't come out of for many, many lifetimes. That's how bad it can become. But what saves us is the association of devotees and the chanting of the holy name of the Lord and engaging in the 9 forms of devotional service, in the association of the most beautiful people in the world, the devotees of Krishna, the devotees of Gauranga. So this is Ram Navami's major message. Even the Lord, when He comes, goes through so many difficulties. But what did He do? He stuck to His purpose. He knew His duty. He knew what He had to do. He stuck to it, even though so much heartbreak He went through when He had to separate from His most beloved, Sita Rani. So today, we're celebrating all of them together, because they come back together, and on the day of Diwali, they all get back together, and we do a very big celebration. Everybody's born again. Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Bharat, and Shatrughan, and their friends and family. So this is the beginning of it, the first day, which is the appearance of Lord Ram. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Lord Sri Rama ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll have some announcements now, and then after the announcements we'll do some abhishek on the altar, because when the Lord appears, the first thing we do is we bathe the Lord with many wonderful items and sing nice prayers in glorification like that, and so that He knows that we're very happy that He came actually to this world. And we're, of course, the most fortunate that the Lord comes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.